Hello everyone, nice to see you all again. It's me, Raylene. I just wanted to have a moment to sit with you and touch base, let you know that I am very much available at the moment. All my services worldwide, and this is not just in Australia, this is for all of you all around the world. So I'm here today just to touch base, to also catch up and talk a few little spiritual things as we do. And I'll wait a few moments because I know it might take a little while for people to come on. I hope you're having a blessed day. It's a beautiful day here on the Central Coast, very sunny, and I'm intending to go outside later and potentially do a little bit of footage as well. So I am just very excited. I think, we're coming into a beautiful phase spiritually where everything can start to move forward for us as individuals, also as a collective. So when we look at, what's going on the first question I'd like to ask everybody is, what's going on in your world? And you don't have to answer that on the live feed, obviously, but I want you to maybe reflect and ask yourself, what's going on? What am I using my energy up for at this stage? Am I putting my energy constructively into the things that I'm doing, or is my energy a little bit scattered? I think right now is a perfect time to really kind of like sit with that. Are you scattering your energy? Are you placing your energy in too many places at the moment? Are you thinking about this? Are you focusing on that? Am I thinking over here? It's like, where are you putting your focused attention? And I think the important thing is that you take the time to stop, reflect, and really see if where your energy is going at the moment is where it really needs to go. Are you worrying unnecessarily? Are you focusing on something that you can't change? Like there may be someone you're worrying about. And I'll just use an example here. You might have somebody going to court and you're worried about the outcome. I guess in a situation like that, and I love this word trust. When we talk about the word trust, we say it, but do we do it? Do we trust that there's a greater power? Do we trust that, people there's something beyond us all? Do you know what I mean? I know there is, and I hope you do too. But, trust is a big thing. And I guess when we look at the word trust, trusting your own inner judgment, trusting your own divine guidance, that's a big thing. When we totally let go, and sometimes we have to, sometimes an outcome is totally out of our control. And it's only then when we go, I've had no choice but to trust that the outcome will be good, bad, or indifferent. Do you know what I mean? And hopefully more good than bad. So I'm just going to run a few things by you all, just to think about. This is a time to do inner reflection. This is a time to really focus our attention on what's going on within us as individuals, because as individuals we still affect the collective. It's not something that we get away from. We are all connected, whether we, from me being here on the Central Coast to somebody in Sydney, we're all connected. It's energy. So when we think of how we're using our energy, is our mind thinking too much? Because do you only want the energy to be in this one area, or do you want it to be where it's centered and clear and clarified? It's really important that we stop, take a deep breath, and really feel our breath going through the body. When we do that, that pause that we take can be enough to go, hang on, hey, I need to ground myself. I need to stay in a space and a place that allows me to be the best version of me and to give the best of me. So, okay, so I've talked a little bit about trust. I've talked a little bit about, you know, self-focus, which I always do. I do hope that, you know, throughout your day that you can stop and pause, take a deep breath and just center yourself. You know, there could be a lot going on around you, but by centering yourself, you allow yourself to truly come into the zone, per se. And I will talk about the zone later on in another time, and maybe in a video or reel. So being in the zone, when you say what zone, being in your zone, creating your zone, stopping yourself from, you know, getting distracted or being pulled into something energetically that you don't want to be pulled into. Sometimes you just have to stop and go, is this serving my higher self? And by just taking that moment to do that will allow you to really feel if it is. This is where we go into that space of, I like the space of knowing. Now, the space of knowing, I could talk all day. I know I was only going to do a 10-minute thing, so I won't make it that long. But I will say to you that I am looking forward to moving forward and doing more content for you all. This is a time in the consciousness where we can be the best version of ourselves, or we can recreate the best version of ourselves. So what do you want to do? Do you want to be the old you? Or do you want to really embrace the future or even the now with a clearer perspective? And I think that's the key. Just taking the time to honor yourself and really find where you're at. What do I truly desire right now? Where do I want to be? You know, where do I see my future? Where do I see what I'm creating for my future, for my family, for my husband, for my wife, for my children? Where am I using my energy in a constructive and focused and beautiful way? Or am I scattering the energy in places where I don't need to? So taking the time to really reflect, taking the time to really just go within. It's not about anybody else. It's about you. And I think that's what really counts. When we know that we are in charge of where we direct our energy, our thoughts, our love, and our attention. So sometimes I say to people, hey, focus on you for a little while. The rest of the world can wait, you know. So just why I'm on that note, my services are still available, as some of you may know, or some of you may not know, that I do spiritual healing. I also do psychic readings, and I do mediumship. I also do many things, but I love doing what I do, and I do it with love. So that's really important. So yes, I am available. I have availability this week, and look forward to connecting with those of you who may choose my services, you know. But what I do love right now is having this time with you. I think I have a slow connection. That's nothing unusual. But I don't really want to reposition, because I've found my little niche here. I've got this beautiful little energy vortex in my room. So I'm really loving it. And I've got all my crystals behind me. You can't see that, but I have many crystals behind me. They are also my tools, and I am currently sitting in my healing room and loving the energy here. So yeah, so you know, let's look at things. Let's look at trusting, you know. And when I say trust, it's not trusting everybody else, actually. It's trusting your own inner guidance, your own divinity, trusting that inner voice that shows you, guides you, and always wants to serve you. And I think that's really important. Our own our own soul, our own intuition always wants the best for you. So when we go, stop and listen to what that inner voice is saying, you know, it really enhances your experiences. It also gives you clarity. You know, we have many opportunities in life, and some of us, sometimes we miss an opportunity. We go, oh, why didn't that happen? But sometimes that reason is it's divine timing, or you may not have been ready. You may not have been clearer within yourself or had enough belief in yourself to take that opportunity. But may I say, the universe is ever, ever abundant. And, you know, where one door closes, it's an old saying, when one door closes, another door opens. And it's so true, you know. But if we're not aware enough or not clear enough or not focused enough on trusting that inner, you know, compass, we will miss it. We will miss that opportunity. So, you know, how do you get to that point? How do you get to that point of totally trusting? You know, it is a feeling thing. A lot of people will say, what do you mean? It is actually a feeling thing. When you feel, you are connected. Whether that, you know, even when you're having feelings that aren't the most comfortable feelings, that doesn't mean you're not connected. It may just mean in that moment that you're working through something. So instead of trying to suppress it or stop it or say, I don't want to feel like this, maybe allow yourself to feel it, but move through it. You know, those of you who will watch this, it's not by chance that you're watching it. It's the right time for you to hear it. You know, and I think that's the important thing is, you know, the universe has a very beautiful way of synchronizing things. You know, you might be working all day, then, you know, happen to come across my live feed, and then all of a sudden, boom, exactly what I'm saying is exactly what is in this moment, something that you can work with or work from, or may need to work with. I love it. I mean, I've only got one eye on here, and I'm sure maybe there's more people watching. I hope there is. And to me, as long as my video gets out and you get to work with it and to, you know, really fine-tune those little skills, fine-tune those little skills of trusting that intuition, trusting that there's so much more out there, trusting that, you know, where you are now, you won't be tomorrow. You know, every moment is a new moment, and the more present that you're in that moment and the more willing you are to feel, to really feel that the essence of who you are, you know, the more you are connected. And in truth, that's what it's all about. That's where with my services, I help people just to be a little bit more grounded, a little bit more in their own zone. So, you know, if I can be of service with my services, please reach out, you know, private message me, send me a message, you know, email, however. But, you know, this is a time for you to really find where you're at. And, you know, don't beat yourself up, you know, if you go, oh my God, I have scattered my energy, or I have been too focused on things that are not really important. That's okay. Perfect. You know, it's a time in a moment, just in a moment, changing your mindset, changing the emotions that you're feeling, changing all those things can really change your whole day, your whole dynamic, your whole life. Like, I don't know why I'm doing that. That's just a little bit of a thing that's just happened. So remember, you are absolutely unique. Every one of us is unique, and no one can judge you more than you're going to judge yourself. So what I'm saying here is, don't be harsh on yourself. Be gentle. If something's not working, change it. If you change it, the energy changes around you. It's the same as the thought. If you're having a not so pleasant thought, change that thought into a positive thought, into something totally the opposite to what you would want to be feeling or thinking. I just love today. I am going to venture out later into my lovely garden and do some meditation and just be still. You know, people say, why do we meditate? Well, meditation's great, I feel. And, you know, it's not anything hard to achieve. It's what I call stillness. Being still and observing what's going on around me. And now, in my case, It's often the birds and the dogs barking, the birds singing, the trees moving, you know. But it's a beautiful day. Don't waste it. Don't waste it on thoughts that aren't productive for yourself. Don't waste it on, you know, the past, you know. And I know that sounds silly to say, but the moment we have now, is the present moment. That's the magic moment, right here and now. So make the most of that moment for yourself. Because when you do that, you also allow others to feel that essence. Everything you do reflects out into the consciousness. So if you're being a beautiful, you know, centered, focused individual, and you're aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, you're going to bring out the best in the people around you, because they'll see that and they'll look and they'll go, wow, you know, be in your zone, not in the zone that everybody else wants you to be in your zone. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, be in your space. Another way of saying zone, being in a nice environment that makes you feel loved and nurtured and makes you feel whole. That's being in the zone, being in your zone. And if you sit and take a moment, feel your body, feel if there's tension. Where's that tension? Have you got a sore shoulder? Breathe into that area. Be the healer. Be your own healer. Oh my God, this is not going to be I sincerely didn't think I'd be here this long doing this live feed, because I was just, going to say hi to everyone and also let you know that I am very available for my services. And like I say, my services, you know, for those of you around the world that aren't in Australia, you know, I do, you know, Skype and WhatsApp and all those wonderful things, Zoom, and, you know, so you can reach out and have one of my services. And so don't feel that, you know, you can't reach me, because guess what, everyone, we can all reach each other. And today I'm in a really beautiful space, and that's where I'm going to stay, and I'm going to share that space with you. But I do hope that you're all well. I don't know what happens here, because I don't get messages or anything like that at the moment. I'm not getting any messages, and I'm just hoping it's all working. As I leave it to the universe, I'm in the present moment with you, and that's all that matters. So be gentle. Be gentle on your thoughts. Be kind to your body. Be kind to those around you, because each and every one affects each and every one. Energy is, you know, everything is energy. And if you want your energy to be vibrant, you know, nurture that, honor that, step away from situations that maybe aren't lifting your vibration or aren't serving your highest good. But when I say that, it's not with judgment. If we don't judge, we're truly being true to ourselves. Sometimes we need to go, oh, okay, it is what it is, yeah? And simple as that, it is what it is, and let it go. You know, I love when people are more in their own zone. Why do I love that? Because then they're going to have a better effect on the consciousness and also on me. You know, everything you do affects me. Everything I do affects you, especially in this moment. So being ever present in the now is going to be your magic. Be in the present moment. This moment is the most important moment. And if you are seeing this, if you are hearing this, you know, I hope that my words and my energy and my flow are really assisting you, because, you know, there's a lot of things we can very easily get distracted by. And that's a good question to ask yourself. Am I being distracted at the moment? Am I, you know, focusing on, you know, scrolling too much? And I did do a little video on that. Am I focused on what everybody else is doing and not what I'm doing? You know, because when you're whole, you affect everyone in the most positive, uplifting way. When you're not scattered and you're not, you know, I don't know, focused on everybody else's stuff, you actually bring your energy back. And people feel that they are drawn to you because you seem to be this beacon of light, because you're clear, you have clarity, you're centered, you're not scattered, you're not stressed, you're not all those things. So being present, being in the now, being in your zone is so, so important. You know, not for anything else and not for anyone else, but for you. So self-nurturing, being more self-aware, and I love that word aware, because what do I mean by being aware? Being aware is just being conscious of how you're moving in your world. How are you moving in your world? Are you gentle? Are you kind? Hello, beautiful Dana. How are you? Okay. Well, keep that positive energy for it, Dana. I think if anything, darling, you're you know, again, what I'm talking about on this live feed is really important. If you're in the zone and you're positive and you really want this unit and you want it to be the unit for the rest of your life, maybe that's where you focus. It's not on, you know, necessarily just focus on being in that unit and having that unit and having what you want. And we all can do that, you know. It's something that we, you know, have to work with. We can't just, if we don't put action behind things, nothing can manifest. And if we really want something so deeply, we need to go in here first and really, really know that we are worthy of having that, knowing that we can attract it if it is for our highest good. You know, when things don't happen, it's not because we're not good enough. Sometimes it's divine, as I would call divine, you know, guidance there. Some things are moved away to help us grow even more. We're never punished. You know, those of us who think we're punished for something we did. No, it is more that we just need to realign. And this is where soul alignment comes in. And I love doing my soul alignment work, because it allows people to really be in alignment with their own soul, in alignment with their own soul. So take some time to really reflect. Am I using my energy correctly? Am I trusting my inner divine guidance? Am I trusting that there's something bigger than me? You know, that may be, you know, the universe to some, that may be God, that may be, you know, consciousness. Everyone's perception of something greater than themselves has a different label, but it's only all labels. When you really connect with that deeper aspect of you, you really do tap in. You know, find the zone, find your zone. Where can you find a place of peace, even for 5 minutes? I'm sure if we've all got a backyard, go out the backyard, sit for 5 minutes. Take that time to go, how am I traveling my day? How am I cruising through my day? Am I in alignment with my soul? Am I doing what I truly desire, doing what I truly want to be doing? You know, they're big questions and hard truths to face. But, you know, it's better to be in alignment than to be going off the rails. That sounded really weird saying that. But yeah, so this live feed has gone way longer than I thought it would, but I've really enjoyed spending some time with you all. And for those of you who have come across this or come across my live feed later, I do hope that you really embrace and enjoy what I've shared with you. All my services are very much available. As I've done a few videos lately, one letting you know that if you can't actually come and see me personally, you know, we have so many different means of being able to connect. So, you know, as the price of living is going up and the price of petrol and all those things, you know, you don't feel that you can't have a service with me anyway, because I can find ways to work with that. And even if there is an element of, you know, a budget thing, we can work on that as well. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, it is about being able to be you. And even my, you know, shared wisdom today is more about you being able to tap in yourself and just look at life and look at your life and see, are you devoting enough time and energy for you? Are you that clear vessel that you really want to be? Are you able to, you know, really reach for your goals and see them more clearly? Because going in the zone, trusting, and also listening to the higher divine self is the key, guys. You know, not hard. It's really not hard. minimize the distractions. Don't, you know, how much time do you spend scrolling on Facebook or on Instagram or on TikTok? Are you scrolling way too much? Are you and maybe that's a good thing to, you know, have a look at. Are you putting your energy or putting energy into things that, you know, aren't serving your highest good as much? Well, my darlings, it's beautiful, beautiful to reconnect. I am sending all the love and energy and blessings to you all. And please be true to you and honor you and nurture that beautiful soul that you are. For now, my friends, namaste. We'll talk soon. Blessings. And please feel free. If you don't know where I'm at, it's www.rainingcable.com.au. Talk to you all soon. Bye for now.